Greetings everyone, this is Alan Valentinus here, giving you a rundown on the Sawyer Squeeze. And more than a rundown on it, also the modifications I've done to it. Pardon me. This is a picture of the basic filter. It's a one of those micro filters. I don't remember the proper name for them, but the ones that were used in dialysis for a lot of years that have a whole bunch of tubes inside, and the tubes have little tiny holes, and the water can get through the tubes, but the particulates and the nasty buggy bits can't. It does work against bacteria and protozoa, but not viruses. Again, not being a huge problem here in the United States. The system itself, as it comes with the filter and the little pop top and 3 bags for dirty water. Half a liter, 1 liter, and 2 liter. Now, I've got a picture of the filter as opposed to the filter itself because I want to show you what I've done to it. But even with the basic model, I found it to be effective in the philosophy of use for I'd say a bug out kit, an emergency kit, or a minimalist backpacking. If you're doing anything with larger numbers or big groups of people, or you're going like more established backpacking, unless you're going solo and you're just filtering for yourself, I recommend something different. I'm also recommending it based on my experience because something different based on my experience because of my experience here in Central Texas. Attuning to this environment, there's a lot of low pools that just have like 2-inch deep water. And when you're doing the Sawyer Squeeze, it's real hard to get those bags underneath there to fill them up, which means that you're getting a Ziploc bag and then pouring it down the neck, or in my case, I had like a little metal cup, and I was like pouring it down the neck, and it most certainly worked, but it sure did take a long time, and so I wanted to modify a few things. Before I get into my modifications, I'll tell you, even if you get the Sawyer Squeeze just the way it is, there's 2 really cheap add-ons that I recommend that will help a lot. One, the first one is just a silicone-filled pop bottle neck. Now, what you do with this is this doesn't come with any kind of cap for the back over here, so the water just kind of dribbles out the end of it from time to time. Oh, we lost our picture. And what this does is this is just a male end of a pop bottle that just right on the edge, right behind there. And I'm giving you a sneak peek of the other piece there. The Sawyer is, of course, awesome because you could screw it on to regular pop bottles and use that as your filtering part of the reason I recommend it for potentially for bug out kit. So there's that piece. And the other piece I gave you the sneak preview of is this one. This is a kid's toy called a tornado tube. Pardon me. And all it is a double female that 2 pop bottles are meant to, or 2 Coke bottles are meant to go, one in the top, one in the bottom. Now I had to cut it down a little bit. I'm sure you can see some irregularities there. I had to cut it down a little bit just to get it to fit, real good on there. But what this does is this allows you to back flush this filter. One of the problems with these micro filters is they require a lot of back flushing. And so what this does is this claps on the end, and then you can get yourself your clean bag, which I carry a lot of platypus stuff, so they all run with like normal pop bottle ends, so you can just put that thing on there, give it a squeeze, and back flush your filter here. Now, I will admit that I am on the bandwagon with these filters. There's a lot of other filters that have been out there for a long time and have had a lot more use, and these are kind of new on the market, and they're still kind of faddish. So I will fully admit that when it comes to these, micro-perforated filters, that I am still on the bandwagon and have not been playing with them quite enough that I can, honestly say that, it's not just me being excited about this stuff, that it's actually, good, tried and true, stuff like, Spyderco Endura or, Celtic Gunnison, things like that, that I'm not on the bandwagon about anymore. So I am still on the bandwagon about these types of filters. But I got to say, the system that I've put together here is pretty slick. So, you know, here we get into what I want to show you. These are all your little add-ons and all your little pieces. What you can do is you can get, for the Sawyer Squeeze, you can get a inline adaptation with a little female end with a barb and a little male end with a barb that you put on the tube of your hydration system, your hydration pack, whether it's a platypus or a Nalgene or not Nalgene, but a Camelback or whatever other kind of cheapo brand you can use. Again, here in Central Texas, not the most fantastic idea in the world, because how the hell are you going to get your bladder filled up with this 1.5 inch little scummy pond about yay big around. So in Central Texas it's an issue, and really came down to is that I needed a pump. So I got a pump. Now I opted for this instead of MSR has a microfilter system that's a pump system. I can't remember the name of it right now. Hydroflow, or I don't know. But I opted against that one because it requires back flushing, just like this one does, and it's so difficult to back flush. They say that some people were saying that it needed to be back flushed like every 8 liters, which is kind of a very frequently in my usage and my mileage, and yeah, I just wasn't into it. So this is going to be a lot easier to back flush with my little item right there. That I already had this filter, so it's like, why go buy a whole new thing? This is the Camelback Hydrolink Tactical Pump, and all I did with this bad boy, well, I did 2 things. One thing I did was I spliced in right here and just put my male and my female adapter for my Sawyer Squeeze right in the middle of the tube, right on the inline, so that when I'm pumping through that filter up, and then clean water's coming out. Yeah. Another thing I did is this. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Oh yeah. Still a little wet. This pump comes with this metal filter with a little strainer in it. It's about like a sink strainer. So I heard other people saying, "Oh, it's not so good. You should add to it." And I think it doesn't look too bad, but a little extra never hurt. And so I just poked a bunch of holes to the bottom of an old bottle, filled it up with cotton, and I had one of those things that you clean that janitors will clean the floor with, those big disc things. They've got a hole in the middle of them, and I just asked one of the housekeeping dudes at the hospital to give me the circle, and I just cut pieces of it and shoved it in there. I haven't tried it in the field yet, but I have tried it over in the sink, and it does take some priming. I was pumping on this thing for quite a while. I really, for a little bit there, thought it wasn't going to work at all. But I did pump for a while, and it did end up coming out. So you're going to spend a little bit of time priming, which sucks, but it was better than buying an all-new filter. At least, that all-new filter with the pump that wouldn't work as well anyways. But it did end up working. Another benefit of this that I didn't quite see until I put it all together is that when you take this hose off, there's absolutely no need whatsoever to reconnect them when you take the filter off. So you can keep all of this dirty stuff, put it in a separate bag, and keep it, your clean stuff and your dirty stuff separated. I know some people who have had cross-contamination just by having the same tubes in the same, bag. So that's a really added benefit, that you can just pop that sucker off right there and just put it in a different bag, segregate it, and have it, later on when you need it without contaminating any of your clean stuff. So I assume I will do an update to this. or at least some commenting on it once I take it out in the field a little bit and give it a try. I hope I didn't splice this too far down. I kind of tried to give it some room to lay, but oh well. Because another problem with these is, I might as well go over the problems with these just for people who are new or haven't seen this yet. They need to be back flushed a lot. They can be delicate. So, if you jostle them around, you can break the little filaments in there, and then it's not working as good. They also, because they have all that water in those filaments, that it can freeze. So, if it's in freezing temperatures, you need to take your filter and, put it in your sleeping bag or put it in your pocket if you're in a hammock, and keep it warm so that it doesn't freeze up, because it'll freeze and the water expands and breaks all those little things. Another added benefit I liked of this over the MSR system was that I could just easily take this off and just pop it in my pocket while I'm sleeping in the hammock and all that good stuff. So anyways, there's my first rundown, and like I said, I assume I'll at least comment, if not make a follow-up video about how it's been doing after field usage, but I'm also going to make another follow-up to this that's going to reintroduce the rest of this system, which is going to be Franken Filter, my concoction that I've been working on for quite a while here, but don't have all the pieces for yet. But when that comes, I'll post up a video on that too. I hope you got some good ideas from this. I've been thinking about this a while, trying to figure out how to make this all work the most effective way I can. And yeah, I hope it works out for you, and have fun out on the trails. Keep rocking on.